Hey guys, if you like this content, I would greatly appreciate it if you guys like the video and subscribed to my channel. It helps make these videos worth it going forward. What's up guys, Altcoin Sherpa here with the Crypto Market Review. As always, this is not financial advice. I am not an expert. Do your own research. Okay, so I filmed like a 13-minute video before, but the size and resolution got all fucked up because I was messing with the settings. Anyways, I'm going to redo this now and frustrated, but anyways, let's get to it. This is BTC USD on the daily. The market structure is still very undeniably bearish. And while it looks like it potentially could be forming a short-term bottom, it's very important to note that every time that price has found a mini short-term bottom, price has dipped down considerably after that. So we see these bottoms that were formed in the past of 2022, and everything has resulted in just some sort of big breakdown. So I don't really want to say this time is any different, because you can make these, you can see every single other instance where price has had big drawdowns after these kind of consolidation moves. And even though price looks like it might have formed some sort of lower high, we haven't really seen that since kind of this late March, early April area, right around here, where price made a lower high and then it dipped down even lower. So for right now, every single type of consolidation move has just resulted in another breakdown. Now, the real question that you're asking yourself, okay, is this the macro bottom? The answer is that lines on a chart are not going to really explain or tell you what the macro bottom is going to look like. Macro bottom is going to be really dependent on so many different factors in terms of equities, rate hikes, war, supply chains, really just stuff that's not related to Bitcoin, to be frank and honest with you. Bitcoin will be a lot healthier and will recover as kind of as equities and everything else starts to recover as well, in my opinion. So for now, I think that, you can't really tell where the macro bottom is. You can have some ideas on a chart, but again, I wouldn't say that you should really be trading as of right now for the macro bottom. If you're an investor, you should probably just DCA into key levels. I think that anywhere from 19K, 16K, 14K, and ultimately potentially 12K if things get really bad. Just DCA into those areas and just kind of sit and wait and chill. I think that's the best advice for many regular, just long-term investors that aren't actively trading. If you're looking for swing trades or looking for more active stuff, I think the real question that you have to ask yourself is not necessarily if this is the macro bottom, but if you think that this is going to be a lower high. And if it is, then you see some sort of, this could be a decent trading opportunity for you. You can mark some of these lows here, on the daily, and you can basically just make the assumption that price is going to go up, not necessarily as high as 30K, but you're hoping that price will make some sort of move like this, similar to what we saw back in April, early April, late March. Now, there are still trades to be taken right here, and I'll go into some charts on the lower time frames where I mark this here, and you can see this 4-hour demand zone right around 19K to kind of this 18K area. Prices dipped down into it, tapped it a few times, and now potentially making a move up. But this isn't really necessarily a bullish chart. What I'm really looking for here is a reclaim of this 20.3K area. If we see this, then I think that price goes up to 21.7K and then ultimately potentially 23K. That would be like the next bullish plan that I'm looking at, and then I would mark some of these highs that were set back in kind of this early June area. But it's also important to really note that these range lows have not been tapped yet. Somewhere around, late June or like June 19th, we haven't seen a tap of these lows at 17.6K. And I do ultimately believe that those lows are going to get tapped. Whether or not we see that right now, or if we go up higher and then dip down later, that's to be seen. But I think it just makes too much sense for price to go wick below 17.6K. If this is a macro bottom, then I think that those levels will get tested. And obviously, if the price is going to go even lower, potentially down to like the 14K, 16K, and 12K regions, then I think that obviously 17.6K is going to get broken, obviously. So for me personally, I'm really just waiting for a reclaim of 20.3K right now. I do believe that it's looking like it might potentially hit there, but I don't really feel super strongly about it. But ultimately, as I said, in the mid to longer term, I do believe that the 17.6K area is going to get taken out eventually. That's kind of, it just, as I said, it just makes too much sense. Maybe we see a wick down to like 16K or something like that, and then we rebound up. But I did set these two levels too for the range. I think that, when you start to see levels get tapped, these kind of wicks up and down, usually these will form kind of these range highs and lows. And you can also make the argument that potentially this 21.7K area would be like the range high. I could definitely see an argument for that as well. But yeah, overall, like I strongly still believe that a few things, like I do believe that the 17.6K area is going to get taken out eventually. Don't know when or what it's going to look like. For a short midterm trade, I am looking for a reclaim of this 20.3K area, and then potentially some of these higher levels, and then a breakdown. That's like one scenario I'm viewing. As I said before, you're really looking for potentially just like a bear market rally where price is going to potentially rally harder than you think. It could look like a move all the way up to 30K. I don't know if it has the strength to get up there, but it is a scenario that I'm viewing. As I said, this last kind of bearish retest that we saw in late March, that was kind of the last real bearish retest that we saw. Everything else has just been consolidation, breakdown, and then now we're at consolidation. Certainly could just see another breakdown, to 12K, I don't know, wherever. But there is going to be another bear market rally. I don't know what it's going to look like or how strong it's going to be. But as I said, it's really going to largely depend on equities, in my opinion. That's really just the nature of it, unfortunately. Now, from a long-term perspective, like where do I think Bitcoin is going to go if I don't think that, if I think 17.6K is going to get taken out? I do believe that there are some other levels that we can view on the higher time frame charts. Of course, right now, price is at kind of this all-time high level formally. These levels always are going to provide very strong support and resistance areas. 12K is an interesting area. 16K is an interesting area because it's the former weekly close, and also you see some of these wicks down to 14K as well. So these are some of the levels on the weekly that I'm really viewing as potential SR levels. And really, as I said, I just have orders all the way down 16K, 14K, and I have it like some orders down all the way to 12K. So if we get a wick down all the way there, then hopefully I'll get filled. But my current plan is just to DCA into BTC and then also take some of these shorter term trades that I don't hold very long in the short term. So that's kind of like my overall plan right now, is just to DCA into BTC, and I'll just go ahead and sit and wait on it. But yeah, my midterm plan is pretty, it's, as I said, it's pretty clear to me personally. Like, as I said, I personally am short term. I'm cautiously of the opinion that price looks like it might reclaim 20.3K, but that's a point where I'll probably go ahead and buy, and then assume that it's going to go to 21.7K at that point. So really just waiting for a reclaim of that current level here, and then kind of waiting and seeing from that point. But ultimately, I do believe that the 17.6K region does get taken out eventually. So that's kind of my overall plan for Bitcoin. I still am macro bearish just because that's the overall current trend, and really just ask myself if I think that price is going to have a bear market rally or not. That's really those are the main questions that I'm asking. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for the support, and thank you very much.